Good evening, everyone. My name is Hui Hui. So today I would like to share an approach to you, which is called community language learning. So before I start, I would like to overview the things I'm going to talk about. At first, I will talk about background, and then theory of language and theory of learning, and I will talk about the design of the approach, and finally, I will talk about the procedure of the approach. So at first, I'll talk about background. CLL, which is Community Language Learning, is the name of a method developed by Charles A. Curran and his associates. Curran was a specialist in counseling and a professor of psychology. CLL represents the use of counseling learning theory to teach language. What is counseling? Counseling is that one person is giving advice, assistance, and support to another person who has a problem or they are in need. The CLL draws on the counseling metaphor to redefine the roles of the teacher, which becomes the counselor, and the learners, which become the clients of in the language classroom. And then I'll talk about within the language teaching tradition, CLL is sometimes cited as an example of humanistic approach. Humanistic approach, also called humanistic techniques, engage the Q person. Humanistic techniques are blending what the student feels, thinks, and knows with what he is learning in the target language. The whole person includes the emotions and feelings as well as linguistic knowledge and behavioral skills. For the theory of language, Curran student LaForge seems to accept that language theory must start through not end with criteria for sound features, the language, the sentence, and abstract model of language. The foreign learners' tasks are to apprehend the sound system, assign fundamental meanings, and to construct a basic grammar of the foreign language. For the theory of learning, CLL advocates a holistic approach to language learning, since true human learning is both cognitive and affective. This is termed whole person learning. Such learning takes place in a communicative situation where teachers and learners are involved in an interaction. For the objective of the approach, the teacher can successfully transfer his or her knowledge and proficiency in the target language to the learners, which implies that attaining near native mastery of a target language is set as a goal, which we can also call objective. For the syllabus of CLL, CLL does not use a conventional language syllabus which sets out in advance the grammar, vocabulary, and other language items to be taught and the order in which they will be covered. The coverage progression is topic-based, with learners nominating things they wish to talk about and message they wish to communicate to other learners. There are some types of learning and teaching activities. There are translation, group work, recording, transcription, analysis, reflection and observation, learning, and free conversation. I will not talk about them in details. For the learners' roles, learners become members of a community, their fellow learners and the teacher, and learn through interaction within the community. Learners are expected to listen attentively to the knower, to freely provide meanings they wish to express, to repeat target utterance without hesitation, to support fellow members of a community, to report deep inner feelings and frustrations as well as joy and pleasure, and to become counselors of other learners. For the teacher's role, it's really simple. It's just a counselor that should respond calmly and non-judgmentally in a supportive manner and help the clients try to understand his or her problems. There are the rules of instructional materials. Since CLL course involve out of the interaction of the community, a textbook is not considered a necessary component. Material may be developed by the teacher as a course progress. Conversations may also be transcribed and distributed for study and analysis. Learners may work in groups to produce their own materials. For the procedural, I think everyone has your own procedurals, so I will not talk about in details as well.